When you say synergy in ministry, I want you to tell me exactly what do you think about it. Just think.
Like movement?
On fire.
On fire. Go ahead.
I see like movement, something in movement.
Go ahead. Synergy in ministry. I want you to tell me exactly what is behind this.
Working together in coordinated action.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. This is what we see going on in our churches. It's like when we have departments in our church, it's like every single department, they try to do their own thing without thinking about the whole church, without thinking about the ministry behind what they have been called to do inside of the church. It's like if I am youth director, I just see the youth. If I am women ministry director, I see the women. If I am men ministry, I see men. If I am a head deacon, I see the deacons. If I am the first elder, I am dealing with the elders. And when all these people, they go to the board meeting, it's like a bunch of different kind of things going on, and you don't see a synergy in what they are doing. But I'm not here tonight to talk about a synergy in all the departments. I'm here to talk about synergy in 3 departments. Personal ministries, Sabbath School, and ACS. And later on, we will put another ministry that we're gonna launch this coming August, prison ministry. But we don't have it here, but I will put prison ministry in my next presentation. Wherever I will go, I will make sure that I will add prison ministry to the synergy in ministry. Let us, and as you can see, the definition that our sister gave, a collaborative strategy for personal ministry, Sabbath School, and Adventist services. To do what? To advance the Pentecost 2025 movement. This is what I'm thinking about when I put the word synergy in ministry. This worldview of working together, we have a vision statement. The vision statement is every member engaged, every community transformed by what? By the gospel of Christ through holistic, coordinated ministry. This is our vision. And wherever we have a church, these 3 ministries, and you can see right now, because I grew up in the Seventh-day Adventists, they used to call them department. You can see right now they don't use the word department. Do you know why? Do you know why? Tell me why.
Why?
No, tell me why. Too secular.
The department is like separate.
Yeah. Yeah. Repeat what you said.
Things, and I don't get involved in your stuff.
Okay, go ahead. Why now they use the term ministry instead of department? There is a reason for that.
Department was restricted.
All right, when ministry give us the idea to work together, to work in synergy, because there is only one ministry. We can call all ministries, but all the ministries, they are working through a ministry. One vision, one mission. But when we have the mindset department, it's like when I go to the board meeting, I try to defend my department. This is mine. This is mine. But when we see ministry, this part of I am the director of this ministry, even though I am the personal ministry director, or Sabbath school director, or ACS director, because I have the mindset of ministry, I cannot go to the board meeting with the 3 departments only, the 3 ministries only. Because I have to consider the other ministries. Because when all the ministries together, we have a plan, we have a strategy for the church. This is why it is very important for each pastor to have a global plan for their church. For example, we have a KPI for the conference. All the churches, they're going to follow the conference KPI. The conference will never achieve the goal of their KPI without the KPI of the ethnic group. Each ethnic group will never achieve their goal without the support of each pastor in their ethnic group. That means when Elder Bob sit down with the executive committee and they plan something, they said, okay, this is the KPI for the conference. This KPI never go anywhere if all the pastors together, they don't work as a team to make sure that this KPI, we achieve it. That can stay as a plan without pastor's support. But when all the pastors, they sit down, as a pastor of my church, of my district, I go to my district, sit down with my elders, and understand the conference KPI, understand the Haitian community KPI, understand the Cape Verdean KPI, understand the Portuguese KPI, understand the Hispanic KPI. Look, every single ethnic group, they're gonna sit down to plan according to the conference KPI. Key performance indicators. If you don't have a direction, how you're going to achieve your goal? This is what KPI mean. When we have now our mission statement is to mobilize and equip church members to do what? To serve, to disciple, and proclaim the everlasting gospel through integrated actions of Sabbath school, personal ministries, and Adventist community services. Listen, our Sabbath school should not be a department of reviewing Sabbath school lesson.
Yep. No.
This is not the reason of Sabbath school. It's not to review the lesson that we studied during the week. It's not the vital reason of Sabbath school. Unfortunately, right now we feel that most our churches, they don't put emphasis on Sabbath school. Most our members, they just show up during the divine service. And don't take me wrong. But you can see the lack of fraternity among our members today. Because Sabbath school becomes a department of reviewing lesson only. Sabbath school is the foundation of the church. Sabbath school is the base of the church. Sabbath school is the department that allows you to connect to each other. When you have Sabbath school unit or Sabbath school class or cell or small groups, all right, this is that gives us an opportunity to connect to each other, to develop our fellowship. Unfortunately, Sabbath school is only a 45 minutes department or 1 hour department. Sabbath school should not be a department only for 9 to 10 or 10 to 11. I'm not here this afternoon to focus only on Sabbath school, but the little thing I'm trying to tell you, when you go to your church, don't go with don't use a voice that's gonna create chaos. No, smoothly work with your Sabbath school department, smoothly work to your elders, smoothly work with your pastors, and sit down with them and let them feel that we can make a change. And change must start with Sabbath school. Because if you don't have an effective Sabbath school, your church gonna stay it's not an active, it's gonna be a passive church. Because you go every Saturday, get the Sabbath school for 1 hour, the divine service, sometimes go to the fellowship hall, take some food, go back home, come back Saturday, do the same thing, go back home, come back Saturday, do the same thing, and you're gonna see the church becomes like a routine. You keep doing the same thing without pushing the members on the street, because the church is not the building by itself or by themselves. Church is us. And Jesus has a reason to establish us, not the building. Us. The church. The church is not the building. The church is you. The church is him. The church is her. The church is them. The church is us. Wherever we are, we have a church. And this is why it is very important. Our mission is to mobilize and equip church members to serve, to disciple, and to proclaim the everlasting gospel. To proclaim. You cannot keep what you have for yourself. You have to share what you have, what you like, what you love. You need to share it. This is evangelism. And when we talk about the synergy in ministry, we have a biblical foundation. All right? When we look at the early church model of study, fellowship, service, and evangelism. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not only 1, not only 2, but the last 2, they are very important. Serve and evangelism. If you say you are a Christian, if you say you are Jesus' disciple, Jesus your master, Jesus our master, when Jesus was on the earth, he never stayed in the synagogue every Saturday. Sometimes during the Sabbath, Jesus left behind the synagogue and went somewhere else to do certain action. I remember 2 weeks ago, and I wake up and I said to my wife, listen, today I'm not going to an established church. I'm going to a hospital. And I'm going to spend time with a patient over there. And I took my car, I went to Beth Israel. Spent time with a patient. I remember last year, I didn't go to any church. I went to a shelter. Sit down with people. And most of them, they asked me, they are looking for food. I said, okay, let's go. And I brought them to a supermarket. And I said to myself, if one of my fellow Haitians see me there, they're going to say, oh, what this guy is doing there? I said, I don't care because I do care. This is why we come with this, we care. We'll talk about it later. And Ephesians 4, verses 11, 13, equipping the saint for what? For the work of ministry, building up the body of Christ. This is the reason, the main reason of personal ministry Sabbath school is to equip the members for the work.
So what do you think that Sabbath school time should consist of if it's not studying the lesson?
Can you repeat what you want to say?
Huh?
Can you repeat it for me?
I said, what do you think should be done in Sabbath school time if it's not for studying, going over the lesson?
Okay, let me correct certain things that you said that I didn't say. I did not say we don't need to do Sabbath. We don't need to study or to review Sabbath school lesson. I did not say that. I said Sabbath school is not only the main reason to study or to review Sabbath school lesson. Sabbath school lesson is one part of Sabbath school, but it's not only the main reason of Sabbath school. Sabbath school, after studying or reviewing the Sabbath lesson, during the time allowed to do it, it's not the end. What the teacher can do after that.
We only have about 50 minutes of Sabbath school time. We have a prayer session first, and then about 50 minutes. So, how
Yes.
would you spend that?
Yes. I think that there is no way in the Bible that says how many times, how long a Sabbath school should. Unfortunately, we keep doing things traditionally. But sometimes we need to step back and look at if certain things need to be adjusted. I don't say change, adjust because of the time, because of the way we use. Because if I used to do certain things 10, 15, 30 years, and right now I feel that what I used to do right now, it's not efficient, I have to step back and analyze it. And if I need to modify the way, and I remember one person here called me because last year I said something about Sabbath school and I talked about chocolate Sabbath school. Spaghetti Sabbath school. Breakfast Sabbath school. Or breakfast, yes. Doing Sabbath school, you can create all kind of things to make sure that you connect the members.
Such as? So tell us, give us ideas.
Okay. A Sabbath morning, instead of coming and do the traditional Sabbath school, you can give a breakfast. And while people are sitting at the fellowship hall, they are eating, in group of, they are thinking about it, and the Sabbath school is going on. This is one thing. It's a second thing. When you divide the Sabbath school into unit or class, the teacher should have other time allowed to the group, to the class, to continue the fellowship. Maybe small group at someone's house. Maybe at the church, Sabbath afternoon. You see what I'm saying? Keep moving, keep doing things together. Go on the street, do community outreach with your class, with your teacher. I think that personal ministry should work closely, should work together. This is what I'm talking about, synergy in ministry. Remember, I told you that at 4:55 they're gonna kick us out and let us go quick. Why synergy? Why? Because it unifies mission and resources for greater impact. I think right now, the leaders, we need to sit down and say, we realize that there are too much waste of time, waste of money, and waste of resources. We need now to reconsider that. Because in our church manual, and Sister White said that, the main reason of the church is not to provide program to the kids, program to the youth, program to the men, program to the women. The main reason for the church is to proclaim the gospel. Evangelism. Whatever the program we are doing, it's for evangelism. You are doing the social activities. The main reason behind these social activities should be evangelism. You are doing a banquet, even though it is a banquet, the main reason should be evangelism. Unfortunately, we have this mindset of program, not evangelism. The main reason for the church is evangelism. Break down ministry silos. When you have synergy that help us to avoid all kind of barriers, all kind of diversion, all kind of situation that can create individualism or like this is my program. The synergy foster what? Collaboration. We need to work as a team for the glory of the Lord. Amen. Maximize total member involvement. Global TMI. This is what Dr. Jim was talking about Sunday, Monday, and yesterday. The global total involvement. And I asked them to allow me to create, because this is their thought, the global total total member involvement. This is something from GC, but now I'm trying to work on certain things to combine the TMI with We Care. Because the We Care is for Southern New England. The We Care, you will see at the end of this week, the vein, we're going to have a vein for ACS, and we're going to put the We Care right. Because we want people to know that we, Seventh-day Adventists, we care. All right? Strengthening discipleship and outreach by building a culture of Bible study, service, and spiritual maturity. This is the reason we are talking about a synergy in ministry. When the three departments in our churches, personal ministry, Sabbath school, and ACS, you allow them to work together, when the two ministries, we allow them to work together, you're going to see the result. We need to ask ourselves, it is why I am a member of this church. You have to ask yourself, the building you have somewhere, why we have this building there? If one day something happened to the church and they're going to move, if the community never questioned, never asked for you, that means we occupy that place for nothing. Because it's like we open the church every Saturday, we open it, do what we are doing, close it, go back home, and come again Saturday, open it, do our service. I ask ourselves, is Jesus die for that? Did he die for that? Just to open a building and worship him? No. The main reason Jesus died is not to go to a building and worship him. The main reason Jesus died is for you and me to go on the street and testify. Why? What he has done in my life. We should have a testimony. We should say something. Because Jesus has done something for you. The main reason of the church is not to go and worship. The main reason of the church is you and I to go on the street and say something. Let people see a transformation in my life. This is the testimony. It is TMI through the synergize. When we talk about threefold ministry, we talk about Sabbath school. Sabbath school is what? The root, the foundation. This is where we study the Bible. It's not doing the 15 minutes. It's not doing the 15 minutes. This is where we nurture. This is Sabbath school, where we have been taught about Jesus, where we got the teaching. This is Sabbath school. And what you know now about Jesus, you cannot keep it for yourself. This is where now personal ministries come, witnessing and small group evangelism. Reach out. I know him through Bible study. I know him through Sabbath school lesson. I know him through the book of Spirit of Prophecy. I know him through my way to study the Bible. But what I know, sometimes I don't know how to share it. Because if I know him, if I know it, I have to share it. But I don't know how to share it. And personal ministries, its responsibility is to help me, equip me, train me how to share what I know about him. And thirdly, we have Adventist Community Services. Compassion in action for community needs. Look at it. This is Sabbath School. Sabbath School is the department that helped me to know Jesus. Sabbath School, this is the department that tried to connect me with Jesus. Sabbath School is the department that creates a personal relationship with Jesus. This is Sabbath School. my left hand. My right hand is the community. Because what I know about him, I cannot keep it for myself. I have to go to the community and share it with someone. But unfortunately, I don't know what I know how to share it. Personal ministries, my head, is the department that's gonna equip me, train me how to share it. This is the three departments working in synergy. If you know it, you keep it for yourself. How are they gonna call you? If you know something, if you have a knowledge, if we are hungry, and one day, if I'm with you and we are hungry, and I go out and I found food, and I keep eating the food for myself, how are they gonna call me? How are they gonna call me? Do you know this story in the Bible? When the three lepers, when for Samaria, and when God helped them, and they keep getting things, eating, and they said, one of them said, what we are doing is not right. We have to go to Samaria and let them know that we got the food. This is evangelism. Evangelism is a hunger who go and say and tell to other hungers where they can find food. This is evangelism. When we go or come to the church and you got a spiritual food, a good food, you cannot continue to eat this food for yourself. You have to go on the street and invite others to come and get the food. This is evangelism.
But I need some practical ways to do all this generalization.
All right. Now, you're gonna ask your pastor to invite my team to come over your church, and we will continue with this. Because this is what we are promoting right now. I can tell you, for 36 years, here at Southern New England Conference, we did not have an active, a full-time personal ministry and Sabbath school director. Until December 2023, when I became, after 36 years, the new personal ministries and Sabbath school director. This is right now. I'm trying to convince our members, the Southern New England Conference members, I'm trying to convince them to understand the importance of going on the street.
So you would go out, take your Sabbath school members, you would go out into the street on Sabbath morning during Sabbath school time?
No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. But it's not a sin. Because listen, I'm trying to accommodate myself with multiple generations. If I had a bunch of young people here, your question, I will say straight, yes, you can go on the street doing Sabbath morning and do Sabbath school on the street. If it was a group of young people. But people like me grew up in the Seventh-day Adventist for 55 years. I'm trying to adjust myself because I'm the old school. But it's not because I know we are old school. But it's not because I and you, we are old school and we cannot adjust ourselves to the 21st century. The 21st century, we need to understand now, even though I will not go on the street doing Sabbath school morning with my church, but if a group of young people want to do it, it's not a sin. They can do it. If the elderly can stay at the church, but in the afternoon they want to go somewhere, yes, they can do it. Because in the Bible, we don't see any time frame what time we can do it. This is why do it in the morning is not a sin. Do it in the middle of the service is not a sin. As long as what you're gonna do on the street, you're gonna extend Jesus' hand to someone else. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I haven't got any good practical ideas yet.
Yes, you will get it. You will get it. You will get it. You will get it.
This sister up here is top on the line.
I'm the
But
Sabbath
this is
school
a process.
superintendent.
But
I
this-
tried last year after going to one of your Sabbath school. I suggested ideas. It fell like this.
Yes, because I just said that change is not easy at all.
Well, I don't know what to do.
This is why it is taking me time to inject. And I'm gonna tell you, this booklet I just gave. Okay? This is what we just start promoting. It's not the end, but it is a beginning. Okay, we have guideline for Sabbath school and personal ministries. We have guideline for Adventist community services, and we have guideline how the two departments can work together. Get it? And you will find some practical, not all. But the only thing I can do, if a church invite me, I can go and have 2 hours training and show them exactly how they can have an effective Sabbath school. Okay?
So you don't invite yourself to the church?
We have 184 churches. I cannot go like this because I respect pastors' space. I'm working with the pastors, and the pastors invite me, and I'll go. Okay? But for now, my calendar is full. Okay? Because we want to do it. The synergy pathway. Study, serve, disciple, multiply. Members journey from learning to living and leading. Holistic discipleship touch what? Head, heart, and hands. This is why we talk about Sabbath school, personal ministries, and Adventist community services. Objective under Pentecost. Actively build disciples through service. Mobilize every member for compassionate ministry. Launch 100 mission-driven outreach project powered by Go Forth every fourth Sunday. It is a program that we are promoting right now, and I already sent a letter to the pastors. We ask our leaders to go forth every fourth Sunday of the month. To go forth every fourth Sunday of the month on the street. Go on the street. Do certain things. Like April 27th, we went on the street of Dorchester. More than 250 members with the yellow jacket. Imagine 250 members of our conference. April 27, we went on the street of Dorchester. Clean up the street. pick up the trash. And people kept asking, who are they, these people? And they said, no, we didn't reply. Our back said, we care. But they said, you care about what? We care about your life. We care of your salvation. You see the way you can, imagine your church, every fourth Sunday, you go on the street and do certain things.
Good, but that hasn't told me about Sabbath school yet.
You know, I love it. This is exactly.
Yes, you gotta be direct.
What I'm hearing is we can start, and this is kind of like ground shaking. The time we start Sabbath school as an individual with others can be changed. That's not sacred.
Yes.
Studying the lesson, the children and the young people have more flexibility. Generally, their classes, I think, more represent what we should be doing. Because those teachers have to they don't say the Bible just like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And the Sabbath School Quarterly is not designed, it's designed to help do that, if you want to. But it's not mandated. Right in the beginning, it says this is only a guideline. So some of those minutes, which is changing, I like this lady, but it's slowly. Some of those minutes of 50 that we all sit there want to regurgitate what we studied and pontificate sometimes. Take 10 minutes and think about what we're going to do on Sunday. Think about a social time that we can maybe take the first 15 minutes and just have a coffee break or a tea break.
Yes.
Or, in other words, the idea is look at everything that we usually do and just stop and say, if we're going to redesign it, what would we do for mission? And the Bible study is definitely central, but it's not designed just to go through Sunday through Thursday on the lesson study. That lesson study is not prepared for that. It's not meant to be. We've turned it into what it's not designed to do.
Let me add something, Bob.
That's my understanding.
Let me add something. For example, if you have 1 hour for Sabbath school, some churches 1 hour and a half, some 2 hours. It depends on the timing. My worldview of Sabbath school as a former Haitian pastor, I will never go to a church that the members, they are not Haitian, to sell them my worldview. You see what I'm saying? Because it is cultural. The way I am doing Sabbath school or a Spanish pastor or Portuguese pastor could not be the same way another culture. But what Bob just said, it doesn't matter what we're gonna do. What we want our members to know is Sabbath school is not only a period of time to review Sabbath lesson. This is one thing I want all of you to understand. No matter what you're gonna do inside of your Sabbath school, I want all of you to understand that Sabbath school, it's not only the reviewing of the lesson. Now, what we can do, they can sit down, Sabbath school, personal ministry, this is what I'm talking about, synergy in ministry. If you want to make a change in the way they are doing Sabbath school, it's not only by the Sabbath school by itself can do it. The 3 departments can sit down, the 3 ministries, Sabbath school, personal ministry, and ACS. Sit down and try to review the way, the method, and the format you are doing it. The day our members, they have this in their mind, the TMI, total member involvement. Now, each member gonna ask them, they're gonna ask this question. If they are putting emphasis on total member involvement, how I'm gonna get involved? You see the question? My involvement is not sitting and study the lesson only. My involvement should be outside of the box. My involvement should be out of my comfort zone. The church, the building by itself is my comfort zone. How and to whom I'm gonna minister to get involved? On the street. Now I need the support as Sabbath School Superintendent. I need the support of ACS to make sure that our members, they don't stay in the building and they have to go out. Or all outreach should plan with, accordingly with personal ministries and ACS. This is what we are promoting right now because ACS should not be a food pantry department. Are you with me? ACS should not be a food pantry department. ACS should not be a clothing department. ACS should not be a shoes department. ACS, when you say Adventist Community Services, ACS should be the practical aspect of the gospel. Are you with me? The practical aspect of gospel. Because if I want to proclaim the good news, where? In a community. And the community starts with who? The community starts with my relative, with my siblings, with my co-workers, with my neighbors, with the community. Now we have to sit down, the pastor, the leaders, all the leaders together, they sit down and plan accordingly to say, okay, now this is the plan, and our plan gonna start from squash with Sabbath School. It's not only the Sabbath School superintendent gonna plan on that. This is a plan that all the ministerial directors, all the leaders, pastors, elders, they have to sit down and to plan to say from Sabbath School to whatever, we're gonna have a plan to make sure that our members, they get involved. And this is why now Sabbath School Superintendent, based on the plan that the pastor and the elders and the board meeting gonna vote on, they're gonna sit down now, okay, now this is your responsibility in this cake. Because church is a cake. The ministry inside of the church is a cake. And every single person needs to have a slide of the cake.
I'm not catching your words.
Slice.
I know, Tom, very briefly. First off, we all have challenges in our church. But remember, sometimes you may think yours is dire, somebody else's church is worse. That meeting with the 3 different departments, I'm all 3. So I'm gonna be sitting in the room by myself. We're bringing something to the church. So that's the first thing. The second thing is Sabbath School is a place where I'm focusing on building relationships. And that when I see people, I try to follow up during the week because we are not one-day Adventists. I
Definitely.
That classification in the name of Jesus, we're not one-day Adventists. So I am trying to instill that in the people. I bring a hot water kettle in the winter so we can have a cup of tea together because it is cold. Okay, I walk the building picking up trash so it's presentable when people, especially visitors, come through the door. You know, it's about, I have a child's joke I tell everybody, how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And if everybody takes a bite, then the elephant in the room will disappear. But it's not easy, And it takes commitment and follow-up.
While the choir director is she's not here yet, let us go ahead. We Care initiative. Okay, it's not. I said that last Monday. It's not a word. It's not two words. We care. It is to us that it has a meaning for us. Working, engaging, and caring actively with what? Redemptive effort. And it is a spirit-led movement putting love into action in what? In our town or city, parks, shelters, and city streets. If the Holy Spirit transforms the heart, that transformation must overflow in service. Because listen, if God has done something in my life, I cannot keep it for myself. And this is what we call testimony. Testimony is not talking about Sabbath. Testimony is not talking about clean meat or whatever. Testimony is not talking about vegetarian, whatever. Testimony is say something what God has done in your life. This is testimony for me. After everything comes after. My Sabbath comes after. Listen, when I'm going to tell you what he has done for me, and I convince you through what you see with your eyes, the transformation that Jesus, God has done in my life, and you're going to ask me a question, who are you? And now I'm going to tell you I'm Seventh-day Adventist. Who are they? I'm going to explain you what is this. You see what I'm saying? But you start with something concrete, practical. The practical gospel, it's not open. Don't take me wrong. Don't take me wrong. The practical gospel, it's not open the Bible. You're going to open the Bible and people sometimes they don't see what you are saying through your action.
Every town has volunteers that are needed. We can cooperate. A lot of us try to do that. So when you're smaller, you don't have enough. Find another group that you can collaborate with.
Yes.
As an example, there's a North Star for these churches in this area, not immediate, I'm not talking about all in college church, but in this area. There's a North Star Family Services in Leominster. That's a temporary area for shelter, a home for any family situation that has been divided for many reasons. There's training and so forth that they do. We don't need to do. But they have churches that are helping on a regular basis, scheduled to bring a meal during the week. My wife and I and my daughter and others at the church I'm attending, we're part of that. I only give that as one example. So all you do, you sign up and say, and so some of this, one of the practical things, I don't know, but take 5 minutes and read, and any Bible study and any Sabbath school study, from that study for those 50 minutes, 45 minutes should work their heart to say, what can we do during the week?
Yes.
And think of something. At least that's a beginning. What Pastor Francis is doing is, I think, shaking up our brains to say, let's think in new ways. But for community, it's not just walking down trash only, or it's not something that we think about. There's other organizations that beg for volunteers.
Definitely.
And you have cooperation. We get to know. So relationships is in the community. Find those groups that you may be. There's others that have lost children. There's older folks who've lost couples or spouses. There's groups in town that get together. You don't have to be a psychiatrist to do this. This is just sharing. So I beg you, look at those websites.
Start doing something. Start doing something. Start doing something. Before working, being visibly present in neighborhood. This is what I mean by working. Make sure that you are not a person with a Bible. You are not a person who every Saturday people see you well dressed. But we want people to see us visibly. They can see Jesus in our action, engaging, listening to stories and building trust, caring actively, meeting felt needs with compassion. We need to start with practical things in our community. Make sure that our presence as a church or as a member, wherever we live, people can see us not as quote unquote Seventh Adventists only, but they see Christ in us. And redemptive effort, pointing people to Jesus through word and deed. Strategic pillars and key initiative, training and equipping, doing workshop, online module. This is what the name is. Your name? Ruth. This is what Ruth tried to convince me. Yes, we need to present to you practical things. But now, for this 45 minutes they gave me, I'm trying to give you an overview of what my department we want to do, and together how we can make a change in our mindset. Outreach event, health expo, Bible study group, service project, we care cleanups, mobile food pantry, and what Bob just said, you can invite someone, you can invite a neighbor, you can invite a friend, you can invite someone to your house and to participate in a dinner, whatever. You see what I'm saying? And digital evangelism right now, with all kind of social media, you can proclaim, as Dr. Howard said, mentorship in small groups, multiplying disciples. This is what we call, and now we have this kind of plan for 2025 and 2026. At the end of 2025, we're going to celebrate Pentecost Impact, Special Impact Boston. And we try to refine and scale with care and synergy-based ministry. This is what we are doing right now. And consolidate church-based centers of influence. And now we start promoting Impact Rhode Island. Because next year is going to be Impact Rhode Island. We already start with Southeastern Rhode Island to prepare, to plan accordingly. And we're going to invite the same thing we did last April. We're going to do something else over there. And this is what we think gospel, it's not like go to church and sit down, do Sabbath school, device service, fellowship, go home, and go back Saturday, continue to do the same thing. We need to change this dynamic because Jesus is coming. And if Jesus is coming, He gives me something to do. We have been called to prepare people for His coming. And how we are doing it. And I think that we think it is very important for us to get involved. How you can get involved. All right? Support food drive, clean up health fairs and refugee aid, volunteer, train and serve with compassion. Do something. Do something. Whatever the thing that you're going to do, it's part of this movement. We cannot be a member of a church for every Saturday only. or for 2 hours or 1 hour and a half. It's not working. We need to find something to do because God called us to do something. Every day. It's not for one day. Every day. Find something to do one day at a time. Sabbath school, personal ministries. Join a class, attend training, serve in small group, lead prayer or outreach, and share your testimony. Underline this. Share your testimony. Because when you look at yourself, there is something God has done for you. He did not do it for Pastor Francis. Use it to tell someone you know him. Because how you know him? How do you know him? It's not because you keep the Sabbath. You know him because he has done something great for you. And I can tell you what Jesus has done for me, I don't think he has done it for someone else. And this is why I call it my Jesus. My God. And I want to share this with everyone. This is my testimony. And we all have a testimony. And what is the summary of all that we just said? The church becomes a powerful movement of what? Powerful movement of compassion. Powerful movement of witness. Powerful movement of transformation. When Sabbath school and personal ministries and ACS collaborate intentionally. This is when the church becomes a powerful movement of compassion. When these three departments, they work together. Through shared vision, aligned strategies, and a united action, every member is empowered to participate in total member involvement. The synergy creates a spiritually vibrant and socially responsive church ready to meet the challenge of the last days with purpose and power. This is the movement, and this is our goal. This is what we have been called to do for the glory of the Lord. And I'm going to give you this. Some of you already receive it. While the choir leaders they are coming, all right, and we end at the time on time. Okay, we're gonna give you this. It is a magnet. You're gonna put it. Yes. You're gonna keep the date for me. Yes, you're gonna keep the date. And Sister Ruth, all that I couldn't say for time frame because I have 45 minutes to do it. For 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're gonna have a big convention. It's gonna be the first ever Snack, Lady, and ACS convention. Yes. We will do it at the Boxbow Hotel, not too far from here, Harvard. Yes. We're going to have training for all ministries there. Sabbath school, personal ministries, women ministries, youth, men, ACS. We're going to have, because we want all the ministry to work in synergy, to work together. And remember, it's going to be the first ever Lady ACS convention. Don't miss this.
When is that again?
Next year, May 29th to 31st. Yes, in person. We wish there will be no pandemic, no pandemic, and we wish everyone will be will be there. Please, no Zoom, no Zoom, no YouTube. All right, it's gonna be in person, in person. All right, and I think that we want to collaborate with you. You can invite us to your church to come over. I already did it for most of the churches all over the place. Connecticut, far from Massachusetts, Northern, whatever. We want all our churches to work together.
Do you have any idea of the cost? Because as you said,
Not yet, not yet. Save the date. Only save the date. You will receive information from your pastors, and we will send out the information. I don't. We will. We will find a way to make it affordable for our members. All right. We don't know exactly how we're gonna do it, but what you can do, if you know some donors, encourage them to support our ministry. And that money, we're going to use it to lower the cost of your participation. All right? But we're going to do our best to make sure our members, they can afford it and they come to get trained, because we know that if we want you to get involved, our responsibility is to train you and to show you exactly how to do it, because it is a big revival for our conference. And I praise God because I am with you in this path, and we will do it together, and we will follow it together. And I think that it is a blessing to have you, and we're gonna end this training. I don't know if you have only one last question and to end it.